Yeah,
yes, you love to tell me how much I'd save.
A week. Yeah, back in days, like $50 a week, $200 a month.
Now, here's another wacko. Do you have any thoughts on the Michael Vick situation or global warming?
My thought on global warming, I don't like the way, for lack of a better word, I don't like the way liberals go far to an extreme on global warming. I do think global warming does need to be looked at. I do believe that much, but I would never go to the extreme that they've gone to, saying how, it's the gas-guzzling private jets and SUVs. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's that at all. Some of these things they come up with, are just too much in some areas. But we do have to look at global warming. I do believe we should recycle.
Cars are doing it.
I really see it happening because here in Wisconsin we had it 86 degrees yesterday. We never have it that warm in May.
Yeah, what was it, like 15 degrees higher than the average?
Yeah, it was something like that. We had a record high yesterday for it, and today it's still right around 80 degrees, and it was raining this morning.
Okay, and how old was the record? When was the record set?
I don't even remember. Back in the 70s sometime. I don't remember the exact year.
Okay.
Here in Florida.
30 So what about like back in the 70s when it was like 84 and you guys just beat the record? So, I mean, weather changes like all the time, guys. There's nothing about it.
Here in Florida, there was a change.
There's no disputing many facts.
There's some history here in Florida that has record highs going back to the 1800s here in Florida, and that's before there were even cars. So I mean that tells you it could get broiling hot at any time.
Good point, but it's the streak of how many years in a certain amount of time. If you got 10 of the hottest years ever in a 15-year period, now if you had 10 hot years in a 50-year period that broke records, I wouldn't be so alarmed. But if you have 10 of them out of the last 15 that are record setters, then that concerns me. Our ecosystem is very fragile.
Yeah, I agree.
But also last year, even at Christmas, Wisconsin, in my area of Wisconsin, we didn't have snow. And we usually have it every year.
We don't get snow anymore.
Yep, we usually have it in like October, November.
Here's something in the chat room on the Michael Vick topic. MVE fan forever thinks Michael Vick is done.
Well,
I agree.
So. I don't know.
I agree.
He looked pretty jacked underneath that suit when I saw him. I think he's going to come out. I think he's going to get it back. I think he's going to go somewhere and win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I really do. But getting back to the snowing in Wisconsin, it used to snow like an average of like 30 inches a year, like when I was a kid in Philadelphia. Now you get 5 inches.
That's like how it is here too. Because I mean, I'm only 26, but I remember winters where we'd have like good 4 or 5 feet of snow on the ground by Christmas, and now we barely have anything.
Hey, you're not getting it anymore. That's direct effect of global warming, I believe.
Hey, also here's something else that was brought up. Future topics that listeners want us to talk are steroid use, cigarette smoking, and legalizing marijuana. So I'm thinking maybe next week we should do the cigarette smoking and legalizing marijuana. What do you think?
Hey, that's fine with me. I'm sure I'll come up with something else too.
All right, there you go. That's the main topic for next week. You heard it first here on the episode.
Yeah, and then we'll branch off of that, and branch off of that. There's so many ways to go with it.
Yeah.
Hey, what does anybody think about Brett Favre? Are they sick and tired of hearing about Brett Favre for a guy that's retired? I mean, he sure gets a lot of press.
That's true.
Like, oh my God!
Actually,
him and Vick.
With me being from Wisconsin, I'm actually glad to see him going to be coming back to play for the Vikings. I really actually want to see it happen because the way they sent him off the team.
Oh, that's not even nice. That's not even nice. Oh, Lord.
It's time for Brett Favre to stay in retirement. It's time for him to stay in retirement. Let him do what many quarterbacks or very few quarterbacks have done and retire on top. When he got the record, that was it for him.
I want to
get out. Yeah.
I want to see him beat the Packers once in a Viking uniform, then I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think he's tainted his legacy already by just going to the Jets.
I agree with that one. He did do it, but I mean, with the way the Packers let him go, there was nothing worse he could do than go to the Vikings or the Bears, and now he's going to the Vikings. So I mean, I can understand where he's coming from.
Packers, and the Packers got better.
I know that is true.
Yeah.
Wow. The one guy that I want to watch is Crabtree, who went to San Francisco because he's from Texas Tech. He's a running back. He's the one that if you guys have got any fantasy leagues or anything, that's your shoe-in right there. Oh, my gosh, he's amazing.
Crabtree's going to be awesome.
As long as he doesn't get hurt, man, he's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think Crabtree's going to be, he might be the best out of that whole first round of draft picks, I think.
No, I was going to agree with you.
Huge potential, huge upside.
Shouldn't have gone to a good team, had to go to San Francisco.
Well, at least he didn't end up in Detroit.
That's fine. Hey, now that Miller's out of there, though, you never know. The team might get better.
Yeah, they might.
0-16. 0-16 is bad. I mean, wow. I mean, what Miller did to that team was an absolute joke. And they kept him on. I can't believe the guy worked there for like 8 years or 6 years or something. How did he not lose his job?
I don't know. Maybe he had to know.
He couldn't coach. He couldn't GM. He could, everything he touched turned to crap.
Mm-hmm.
And
sounds like a certain sports owner here in Florida.
Yeah. We also got other topics people are sending us in for future episodes, but back on the global warming, Alex R. in the chat room wants to know, where in the world do you think global warming is affecting the most?
The North Pole.
Well, yeah, which is all melting. It's affecting all different kinds of things. Like I said, the hurricane system, the typhoon system over on the other side of the planet. Which the only difference between a hurricane and a typhoon is one spins clockwise, one spins counterclockwise. It's just the storms are getting more severe. It's raining in places it never rained. It stopped snowing in places that it always used to snow. It's everywhere. And the worst part about it is, even if the United States said, listen, we're really going to start cracking down on it bad, we're going to have, you're only going to be allowed that, you're going to have like tax credits for how much emission that you send into the air per year. China alone has a working class that is more people than that live in the United States. There's 320 million people in the United States. They have a working class that big, and they have no emission controls over there. You can pollute as much as you want, as often as you want, whenever you want. And there's never a clear day in Beijing because of all the smog. It makes California look like a bright and sunny Mr. Rogers day compared to Beijing every day.
Wow.
Well, you've seen them with the surgical masks. You have to actually wear the surgical mask to even go outside of your house.
That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it's so bad, and the smog is it's so horrible there.
Wow.
And they also have the big, they have the big liners that go in the ocean and just suck up all the fish and all the wildlife that are in the waters, and they just use everything. They're actually just sucking the life out of the oceans because they have no regulation over what they can do.